Question number 5. The diagram shows the curve with parametric equations x is equals to tan theta, y is equals to cos square theta for theta in between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. So this curve is given for these two equations. First part is show that the gradient of the curve at the point with parameter theta is minus 2 sine theta into cos cube theta. This question carries 3 marks. So gradient we have to show, it means we'll find its dy by dx. So as two parametric equations are given, first one is x is equals to tan theta. So we'll differentiate this expression with respect to theta and we'll get dx upon d theta as derivative of tan theta, that is sec square theta. And the other relation is y is equals to cos square theta. We'll differentiate this y with respect to theta, so we'll get dy upon d theta is equals to 2 cos theta into minus sine theta. Now for gradient, that is for dy by dx, we will divide these two relations, dy by d theta upon dx by d theta. It will give you minus 2 cos theta into sine theta upon sec square theta, and 1 upon sec square theta is cos square theta, so it will become minus 2 cos theta and 1 cos square from the denominator into sine theta, which becomes 2 cos cube theta into sine theta, and this was required here. So gradient is this. Question number 5, B part. The gradient of the curve has its maximum value at the point P. Find the exact value of the x coordinate of P. So gradient is having a maximum value. So it means now our function is the gradient function. So as we have already find in part A, that gradient function was minus 2 sine theta into cos cube theta. So I'm considering it as y. So first of all, we'll find its first derivative, that is dy by d theta, product of two functions. So it will become minus 2 sine theta as it is into 3 cos square theta, and for cos theta it is minus cos theta, plus cos cube theta as it is and minus 2 cos theta. So it becomes minus minus plus 2 into 3 6 sine square theta cos square theta minus 2 cos raised to 4 theta. Now for maximum point, or we can say for stationary points, we'll put dy by d theta is equals to 0. So it will become 6 sine square theta cos square theta minus 2 times cos to the power 4 theta is equals to 0. In these two, cos square theta is common, or we can say 2 cos square theta is common. So we're left with 3 sine square theta minus cos square theta. So from here we'll get two relations. One is cos theta is equals to 0, and the other one will be tan square theta is equals to 1 upon 3, or we can say tan theta is equals to plus minus 1 upon square root of 3. So if you look at this expression, cos theta is equals to 0, it will give you theta is equals to pi by 2, but the range in first part is given as theta in between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. So it is not equal to pi by 2, that's why we leave this part. So just concentrate on these two values, that is tan theta is equals to plus minus 1 upon root 3. So it will give rise to two answers, that is theta is equals to either pi by 6 or minus pi by 6. So we have these two stationary points. Now we'll check for these 2 points, that which value will give you a maximum value and which one will give you minimum. So now for that we have 2 rules. One is first derivative rule and second derivative rule. So I'm using second derivative rule. So first I will find second derivative of this dy by d theta. So it was 6 sine square theta cos square theta. Again we will differentiate this part. So it will become 6 sine square theta as it is, and derivative of cos square theta will be 2 cos theta and minus sine theta, plus now cos square theta as it is, 6 times 2 sine theta, and for sine theta it is cos theta, minus for this part now 2 as it is into 4 times cos cube theta, and for cos theta it is minus sine theta. So, and then in this expression we will put theta is equals to pi by 6 and minus pi by 6 to check which value will provide you maximum and minimum value. Put theta is equals to pi by 6 and minus pi by 6. So on putting that, we'll find that d2y upon d theta square is negative at theta is equals to minus pi by 6. So it means gradient has a maximum value at p. So for p, theta will be minus pi by 6. Now what is asked? To find the exact value of the x coordinate of p. So x coordinate of p will be, x was tan theta, so at p theta is minus pi by 6, so it will be minus 1 upon root 3. So this will be the exact value of x coordinate. Question number 6. The complex number u is defined by u is equals to 7 plus I upon 1 minus I. A part is express u in the form x plus iy, where x and y are real. This question carries 3 marks. So u is given as 7 plus I upon 1 minus I. We'll multiply with the conjugate of 1 minus I in the numerator and denominator as well. It will become 7 plus 8i plus I square, and in denominator it will be 1 minus I square. It will become, I square is minus 1, so it will become 6 plus 8i upon I square is minus 1, so 1 minus minus 1 will be 2. 3 plus 4i. So this is the value of u in terms of x plus I. 3 plus 4i. This is first part's answer. B part. B part is show on a sketch of an argon diagram the points A, B and C respectively, u, 7 plus I and 1 minus I respectively. So we need to locate points A, B and C, where A is u, B is 7 plus I and C is 1 minus I. So I'm just drawing it. This is real axis and this is imaginary axis. So u stands for 3 plus 4i. So on x-axis 3 and y-axis is 4. So I'm just marking here 1, 2, 3. y-axis we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this point is A. So we can just draw it. So it represents U. Then next is 7 plus I. So 7 on x-axis. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1 on imaginary axis. So here we have 7 plus I. So this is point B, and C point is 1 minus I. So 1 is on real axis and minus I on imaginary axis. So somewhere here we can locate the third point. So this is point C. Right? This is B part, in which we have to locate A, B and C. That is U, which is 3 plus 4i, 7 plus I and 1 minus I. So this is part B. It carries 2 marks. C part. By considering the arguments of 7 plus I and 1 minus I, show that tan inverse 4 upon 3 is equals to tan inverse 1 upon 7 plus pi upon 4. So we know that in A part it is given U is 7 plus I upon 1 minus I. So just recall one identity which says that argument of Z1 upon Z2 is argument of Z1 minus argument of Z2. So same will apply here. Argument of U is equals to argument of 7 plus I minus argument of 1 minus I. What is U? U is 3 plus 4i. What will be the argument of 7 plus I? It is tan inverse y upon x. What is y? Y is 1. 1 upon 7 minus tan inverse minus 1 upon 1. And here we will get tan inverse 4 upon 3. So which is equals to tan inverse 1 upon 7. And what is tan inverse minus 1? We can write it as minus tan inverse. Sorry, this will become minus pi by 4. Straight you can write it as minus pi by 4. So it will become tan inverse 1 upon 7 and minus minus is plus pi upon 4. This is what is required in part C. Root. It's for 3 marks. Question number 7. The variables x and t satisfy the differential equation e raised to 3t dx upon dt is equal to cos square 2x for t greater than or equal to 0. It is given that x is equals to 0 when t is equals to 0. This condition is given. First part is solve the differential equation and obtain an expression for x in terms of t. This question carries 7 marks. So this expression is given that e raised to 3t dx upon dt is equal to cos square 2x. So it's a case of variable separable. So first of all, we'll separate both the variables. 2 variables are present, x and t. So x on one side and the other variable t on the other side. Or we can write it as e raised to minus 3t dt. So after this step, we'll integrate both the sides. or 1 upon cos square 2x can be written as sec square 2x. Integral of e raised to minus 3t will be plus constant of integration, that is c. Now integral of sec square 2x. Integral of sec square x is 10x and here it is 2x, so it will become 1 upon 2 tan 2x is equals to minus 1 upon 3 e raised to minus 3t plus c. Now as this condition is given that x is equals to 0 when t is equals to 0, we'll use this condition to get the value of this constant c. At x is equals to 0, t is equals to 0. Put this value here, it will become 0 is equals to minus 1 upon 3 plus c. Value of c is 1 upon 3. Hence, we have 1 upon 2 tan 2x is equals to minus 1 upon 3 e raised to minus 3t plus 1 by 3. We need an expression for x in terms of t. So we can write it as 1 by 3 we can take common. It will become 1 minus e to the power minus 3t. Then it is tan 2x is equals to 2 upon 3 1 minus e to the power minus 3t, or two x is equals to tan inverse 2 upon 3 into 1 minus e to the power minus 3t. And finally, x is 1 upon 2 tan inverse 2 upon 3 1 minus e to the power minus 3t. This is your answer. We have expressed x in the form of t. Question number 7, B part. State what happens to the value of x when t tends to infinity. This question carries 1 mark only. So from part A, we have this expression that x is equals to half tan inverse 2 by 3 1 minus e raised to minus 3t. So it is given that t tends to infinity. If t tends to infinity, now t is present here only, so we'll check what will happen to this expression if t is infinity. So we have 1 minus e raised to minus 3t. So this will become 1 minus 1 upon e raised to 3t. So as t tends to infinity, it is 1 upon infinity, and 1 upon infinity is 0, so it means it is 1. So when t tends to infinity, 1 upon e raised to 3t tends to 0. So this will reduce to 1. So 1 minus e raised to minus 3t will become 1. So if t tends to infinity, x will be half tan inverse. This will become 1. So it is 2 by 3 only. This is for 1 mark. Or we can solve it to get 0.294 up to 3 significant figures.